How's it going, everybody? This is Jason Ostrowski, and welcome to another edition of the Everything Real Estate Podcast. This week, our podcast is a little different. We were lucky enough to have a podcast booth set up for us on the expo floor at the Nashville convention last month, and I had a blast getting to talk real time about the convention with some of my colleagues, Bob Kelley, Nicole Murphy, and Cheryl Brown out of our Bluebell office were there to help me talk about the Nashville convention. You know, I always talk about with my guests, it seems like I always say on the podcast, I'll see you at the convention. Are you going to be at the convention this year? We'll hang out at the convention. Well, I wanted to do some live feedback from being at the convention, what my colleagues thought of the sessions that are involved, the keynote speakers, the overall vibe of the city, and what it feels like to be immersed in the crowd as Fox Roach was announced the #1 brokerage again for the 11th year in a row in terms of volume, GCI, and commercial units. We swept the categories again this year, and I wanted to get my colleagues' takes on what it felt like to be there as all this transpired. So if you've never been to the convention yet and you've always been on the fence about going, hopefully this will push you to join us in Denver next year. I'm really excited to head out west, see a beautiful city, hang out with my colleagues, and of course, learn some great new information for my business heading into next year. So without further ado, let's get into the podcast this week with Nicole, Cheryl, and Bob. Hey everybody, this is Jason Ostrowski, and welcome to a special edition of the Everything Real Estate Podcast. I am here with a couple of my colleagues. We are at the convention in Nashville, and it has been an absolute blast, probably a little bit too fun from this point forward. I'm trying to cut down on my hours spent outside the hotel. So I wanted to ask all of you, because obviously we've worked together for a long time. And we've gone to some of us have gone to conventions together before. Nicole and I have become very good friends at our convention in New Orleans. Bob, obviously, I've known forever. So first thing I want to ask all of you, I'm going to start with Bob. Just introduce yourself very briefly and tell us how long you've been in the business.
Yeah, so Bob Kelley, run a team out of the Bluebell office with all these guys, and 22nd year in the business.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Cheryl, Miss Cheryl Brown, we call her CB in the office.
CB Institute.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cheryl Brown. I am a team leader of a small team. I'll be starting going into my 24th year here at Berkshire Hathaway.
All right. And then last but not least, we have Miss Nicole Murphy next to me, new construction specialist in the Bluebell office.
I am Nicole Murphy, Bluebell office, 12 years, and just me, all by myself.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining me. So I want to do this special edition here with us, talking about specifically the convention, because one thing with this podcast that I always tend to mention throughout almost every episode when I have my guest on, they typically are at the convention. And we talk about going to the convention every year. Hey, I'll see you at the convention. Let's do this at the convention. So the first question I want to ask you, I'm going to start with Bob. This is your first convention with Fox Roach.
Yep.
So has it lived up to your expectation? Has it exceeded your expectation? What have you thought about the convention so far?
Yeah, it's been great. It's my Virgin performance. I hope I'm doing all right. And it's been great getting to connect with different people from around the country, different people in our company. We cover a huge region, so whether it's North Jersey or Delaware people, that's been really good. And obviously, maybe a tad too much partying, but that's okay.
It comes along with the territory. Yeah. So, all right. So, Cheryl, I'm going to kick it to you. What have you liked most about being in Nashville this year? Because you've been to several conventions. Mm-hmm. I know you've been to Vegas. Mm-hmm. I think you were at the last Nashville one, right?
No, I was not.
You were not.
No,
okay,
I was in sunny Florida.
So what is So what is your impression so far of Nashville?
Well, I love Nashville. I'm a musician, and I love music, and this is Music City. No doubt about it. And one thing that I really have enjoyed about coming to this convention, and at this time of year, is that it's the end of our first quarter, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're we're just getting charged up, like we're kicking in. It's like a brand new year. So I think the timing is excellent.
I think you bring up a great point too, because this really does help to propel your business forward for the rest of the year.
Agree.
And I think that being that it is quarter one, like you were talking about, you have still the remainder of the year to kind of use it as jet fuel to actually impact your business and keep you kind of soaring along through the year. So would you agree with that, Nicole?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that, you get started in the year, you're really charged up, just like Cheryl mentioned, and you come here and it's a new mindset. And helps you to take a minute, pause. Where am I at this point? Where am I going? And what do I need to do to get there? And you get these little pieces of information that really make a difference. And it's those little habits that you can change and little ideas that you get here and there that I think keep the ball moving forward.
Well, that's my next question is going to go to you too, because I know you are a sessions person. You go to a lot of sessions.
I go to them all.
It's really helped you. Now, I want to focus on this because the last time in New Orleans, we've talked about this a lot. You really got super motivated to start doing video at that convention. And you have really mastered and aced the video aspect of social media now. I think you're one of the leaders in the forefront, especially in Fox and Roach, that is just doing a fabulous job. And that was all the impetus was all at New Orleans.
Yes.
And then we talked about it afterwards. So what was your favorite session so far in Nashville?
In Nashville, I would say there was the social media one that I really enjoyed. It gave me a little bit of perspective because when I was in New Orleans and I had never done video before, it was a completely new experience. So I feel like I got thrown into something that I had no idea what I was doing. And now that I've been doing that for just about 2 years now, it's like I'm now ready to go to another level and diversify some of the things that I'm doing and fine tune the ways that I'm doing video. So I got different information out of probably a similar, session. But now I'm at the point where I'm ready to do different things with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheryl, how about you? What stood out to you in terms of the sessions?
Wow. Well, I think because I have a marketing background and I do a lot of marketing. I do a lot of print marketing. And I need to put a little more thought into social media, like video. I don't use video like I should. And I have a great team. And I have a great assistant who is going to be helping us with that. But it's not just the accountability, it's implementing it, executing it. And that's my takeaway. So,
awesome.
Executing.
How about you, Bob?
Yeah, I have two that I liked. Yesterday, there was a mastermind session with the Chairman Circuit Diamond, and we covered different topics, AI, client and community events, which is something our team's looking to do. We haven't really focused on that a lot, so it's an area where we can grow. And then today, 12-week year, we've got this book I've read years ago. I think we were all in that session, right?
Yes.
And just kind of get back to some of those habits really stood out. It's good.
Yeah, I think that was exciting for me to see Brian Moran being here. We've referenced the 12-week year on this podcast a lot, especially in the early stages of this podcast during the pandemic. We used to have a group that met. I can't remember how many. We would do 12 weeks and then we would meet, but we would meet throughout to see how we're doing on our 12 weeks. And to have him out here is just super cool. Yeah. I wanted to talk about yesterday's keynote speaker as well. Yeah. Because if you do come to the convention, one thing that typically stands out to me are the keynote speakers. And Nick Vucevic, I think was his name. Vucevic
was the guy the Sixers drafted.
I was just going to say, he's excellent from the three-point arc as well.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about the Sixers.
I know. It's unfortunate.
But he really stood out to me as someone that if you attended this convention, if you walk away with nothing else, his message and the motivation that he gives me leaving a place like this, there's just no excuses to our business, right? That's the bottom line. There's no excuses. If you want something out of life, out of business, then there's no excuse. And I felt like he really, really knocked it out of the park. Nicole, what'd you think about that yesterday?
Amazing. So inspirational. So, just gives you a perspective on life and where you are and the challenges that we all think that we have, and then you look at someone like Nick and you think, I mean, if he can do a tenth of what he's accomplished in life, then we can do anything, really.
Yes.
And I should specify, so Nick was born without arms or legs, and basically the guy's a mogul. I mean, he owns numerous companies. Nothing has stood in his way. His story was so inspirational. Cheryl, what did you think about that yesterday?
Oh, he was just knocked it out of the park, like you said. And I love the story about his mother, how she changed education for people with disabilities in Australia. I mean, that's mind blowing. But he was great. I was thinking about the 6 F's he was talking about, which was faith, friendship, family, finance.
I can't believe you remember all this.
Fun.
Yeah, that is amazing. Wow, look
That's
at you,
unreal.
Cheryl.
All right, that should end the podcast.
I was just going to say,
Well, I wasn't out with Bob last night, so.
So, Bob, I mean, being that this is your first time here, you come into the convention floor. There's thousands of people. Vince Lisi's on, on stage. Is it what you expected when you walk into the floor like that? You sit down, you see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
How does it measure up?
Yeah, I think it's maybe a little better than what I expected, to be honest. I think Vince is great. Vince and Jimmy and those guys, great. Leadership. I think they're kind of pulling us in the right direction as a company and as a brand. So that part's great. And then the interacting with people. And I was actually I would say, surprised at how many people are here. What was the number? Like over 5,000, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of people here. So that was kind of really cool to see. Like people coming out.
We were talking about, so I don't know if you two experienced this, but Bob and I were talking right before we came on that you can almost tell where an agent is from based on the way that they dressed regionally, Like, so this woman walked in like a sparkly sequin jacket with like a sequin cowboy hat. And I'm like, yeah, she's got to be from the South, right? I know I'm stereotyping, but do you find that interesting that the networking side of everything and meeting people from different places, and you know right away that
she was from Basking Ridge, New Jersey, by the way. No,
but I see a lot of sport jackets out this way, and I think I'm the only one in a sweater. So. So that's just an observation that I've made. I don't know if you've noticed that, but all right. So let's talk about just outside of the convention and just hanging out at some of the events. What was the favorite event so far? We have one tonight, but what has been your favorite event that we've been to that you've had fun at?
I thought last night was fun.
Yeah.
When we went
it's a little too fun. Yeah.
No, I think the event that we went to with the band on the 3rd floor, and it was there was a lot of energy. There was a great band. We were all dancing and having a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cheryl?
Well, I loved our first evening getting together at Fox and Roach.
Yeah.
Seeing some old friends, meeting some new friends, like my new buddy Frank.
Yeah.
That was I really enjoyed it. It was a great way to kick it off.
Shout out to Frank May.
Yeah.
Didgeridoo extraordinaire.
Exactly.
How about you, Bob? What'd you like?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Nicole. The thing we had at Lainey Wilson's bar last night was awesome. Like everyone's just kind of there. We were all letting our hair down, getting after it a little bit. And I also think the happy hour beforehand, where it was just our company, as opposed to the whole brand, was really good too. Just to see, we won number 1 again, which was awesome. So I'm sure that was, great for Larry, it's great for all of us, but it was just good to kind of see everyone just kind of like celebrating that.
Well, big shout out to you, man. Number 25 large team in the network. Yeah. So congrats, man.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see your name up in lights. And I know Lisa Wright was on there.
Yeah, 22.
Love. Yeah. So we've had some really good representation. So for those of you that are listening to this and you've been on the fence about coming out to the convention, I mean, Nashville is an incredibly fun town. Next year, we're going to be in Denver, and it always becomes a thing, right? Like we get a group together, we're ready to go out there. And I want to say, just personally, me speaking, my favorite part of this convention is actually just getting together with all my colleagues, because I feel like we get to know each other so much better. You go back to the office, that leads to opportunities moving forward, right?
Agreed.
Referral business. This is the best part of the convention, is being with your colleagues, hanging out, having fun, and potentially getting business out of it in the future. Would you agree with that, Nicole?
Absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity to step outside, meet new people, find new opportunities. It's definitely a something I recommend for everybody.
Yeah, like Cheryl made a new friend in Frank, you know? So you and Frank are BFFs
My
now.
BFFs. And,
Yeah.
You're not going to worry about that flight to Denver, are you now, Bob?
But we'll see. There's plenty of time to think about it and make excuses. We'll see what happens.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to get out there. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So, all right. So last question I'm going to ask. What's your favorite restaurant that you've been to? Was it Church and Union?
No, it was not. But I loved Church and Union. But a great agent in my office, our office, and a good friend, Patty Billock, we went to Bourbon, which is the top of the JW Marriott. Probably one of the best meals I've had in years. It was over the top.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Bob, what'd you like the best? We were together for multiple meals.
Yeah, we were. I mean, I'm going to go with last night's Skull's Rainbow Room was really, really good. Good vibe, jazz spot. It was great music, great food, great cocktails, probably more importantly. And, just a little, it's in Printer's Alley, so it's not as crowded as everything else, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Nicole, how about you?
I'm going to second Bob, although I didn't have dinner there last night. It was such a great vibe.
Yeah.
The jazz blues bar, a little speakeasy. It was, drinks were great. Service was great. Highly recommended.
I want to give a shout out to Rolf and Daughters as well.
Awesome.
That was excellent. The pasta dish was insanely good. So that's the other thing, the byproduct of coming here. You get to have some really, really good food, experience the local culture. We hit up the honky tonks. We did the whole thing.
Yeah.
We did an electric bike ride this year, which was great.
Karaoke?
Yeah, karaoke. So that was pretty amazing. All right, we're going to shut it down, but I want to know one takeaway from Nashville. What was your one takeaway that you thought was a key to your business this time around?
Key to our business.
I know I'm putting you on the spot, Cheryl.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
What's one thing you tend to or want to implement into your business when you get back?
Oh, the 12-week plan. I mean,
Okay.
I've read that book. Actually, Ann Tullock gave that book to me. And because guess what? 12 weeks is up right now. So let's start fresh.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Nicole, how about you?
I love the 12-week plan, and I plan to do that as well. But I think sometimes I come here and I get so excited about so many things that I'm going to make a list of the top ones and just really focus on 3 things, because I think the last time just focusing on the videos and the social media helped not to have too many different things. So that's my plan.
How about you, Bob?
Yeah, I think the stuff in the sessions was great, and there was a lot of stuff in there. But last night, just Earl Endrich and I were going back and forth on a few things that he's really strong at, some things that maybe I'm a little stronger at. So just, someone I've known, someone I've talked to, we've exchanged referrals before, but we haven't had time in the room together that much. So we kind of plan to catch up with each other, maybe in a couple of weeks, grab lunch, go over some things where this is what we're doing, this is what I'm doing. I think those connective pieces are the best part about being here.
It is that connective tissue with everybody, right? And making that stronger and those bonds a little bit stronger and sharing ideas. The first thing they say in real estate is show up.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
You show up here and you're going to learn something. So I'm going to end on that note. I know I don't know how we're doing on time, but we're going to end here. And I appreciate all 3 of you joining me. I know this is kind of impromptu, but I'm excited to be able to do this from down here. And we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. That was the bonus edition podcast coming live from the expo floor in Nashville. As you can probably hear in the background, there was a lot of hustle and bustle going on. It was a lot of fun to do. So we will be back in another couple of weeks with a new podcast, a new guest. And as always, if you want to hear something that we haven't covered yet, please reach out to me, jason.ostrowski@foxroach.com. And if you haven't liked or subscribed or checked us out on YouTube as of yet, please do so. It helps us to reach more people. Once again, this is Jason Ostrowski saying stay safe out there, stay selling, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Everything Real Estate Podcast.